Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. When I used to stream quite regular, it was a doddle, but let me know if you can hear what I'm saying on that camera. Yeah, evening all. No mince pies tonight. I've got my laptop here, so I'm just going to be looking down here for the time being, just till I get some things sorted out. But yeah, let me know if you can hear what I'm saying on that camera, because I've got a second camera on the go tonight, so I'm switching between them. So if you wouldn't mind awfully, just let me know if you can hear me, alright? Or is it going to be coming up on YouTube? It says there's 6 people in. We hear you. Oh, that's very good. Oh yeah, I could have just looked on the iPad, couldn't I? Oh, what a simpleton. Alright, come on, what's going on here? Well, that's lagging behind a bit. What's going on here? Ah, here we go. Right, so they can hear me on that camera. I'm going to switch it to the other camera now, and you can tell me if you can hear it on that one. I know, you know. I thought I didn't want to put too much effort in. Right, I'm just going to go to this camera now. Can you hear me on that camera? Ooh. So you can hear me on that camera as well, this one. Probably won't be doing much on that one. Those lights flickering are annoying me a little bit, but can't be helped because it's just that when you're live streaming on that little camera, it just sort of goes into auto mode. Yeah, alright, well I'll switch back to the other camera now. Thank you very much. Testing, 1, 2 and all that. Right, while we're on that, I'll just go back to the other page, because that tells me how many people's in. Ooh, 7 people are in at the moment. Let me put my iPad out of the way. So yeah, 23rd of December. Bugger, that year has gone quick. Evening all, looking forward to some mince pies and a bit of L322 chat. Well, I've got myself a little bit of a supper set up here. I thought I'd accompany it with a bottle of cidre and framboise. Framboise, is it? Framboise. Raspberry cider. Super U special. We're having a supper on a budget, a Christmas festive supper. Cheese biscuits, I've got some olives, a little bit of pate, a little bit of a tipple. As I say, on a budget, it's all super U. So yeah, raspberry cider. That's alright, you can hear me. And this is Samrock. This is the cheap version of Bailey's. How much is a bottle of Bailey's up the road? 17 euros? 18 euros for a bottle of Bailey's up the road. What was this? Less than 4?
No, it's more than that.
5?
It's under a tenner, but it's a lot more than that.
It's not that expensive. So
I'll tell you.
we might finish the evening off with a bottle? No, better not. A glass of the old Samrock, which is exactly the same as Bailey's. Nice little bit of Bailey's at Christmas. It always goes down the treat. I was going to go for beer or perhaps wine, but I thought no, I fancy a bottle of cider tonight.
€7.50.
€7.50. Hobbit's just looked it up. So yeah, all good stuff. I'll say on the theme of budget supper, we've got some. This is Super U's own, all in English. Cheddar, extra mature. It even says, oh no, it says the milk is Origin Royal Umi. So the milk comes from the UK. I don't know where it's made. Anyway, Super U's own. Now this is proper budget. This is pre-mini, so that's like Tesco's value. Petit Brie, which is not Petit Brie, is it? It's quite a large brie, that one. So we'll have a bit of a bez on that later on. A Super U's own Mimolette Hollandaise. It's a bit like a Red Leicester, I suppose.
Exactly, that's right.
And then we have some fromage, a and fine herb. So that's garlic with fine herbs, soft cheese. That one. Do you celebrate Christmas? The French do Christmas on the 24th, or they have all sort of like their get together on the 24th. They have their big meal on the 24th of a night time, and then they open their presents sort of about midnight, isn't it? Traditionally, they sort of all the families would get together in the evening. They'd have a big slap-up meal, and then sort of open all the presents back around about midnight traditionally, and then Christmas Day they sleep it all off, and then Boxing Day they're all back to work. So that's it. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and that's it. Bish bash bosh, job's done. Our Christmas is a little bit cocked up this year, as I mentioned in that video the other day. Tina's got hospital Boxing Day, the day after, and the day after that. So we will be doing Christmas. Well, we've been. It's that time of the month where food in the house is for Christmas. You can't touch that. But no, we've been tucking into the old Christmas food because we buy it. We haven't gone quite as mad this year with food. Obviously, money's a bit tight, so that's one reason. But the previous couple of years, we just bought so much food, and you're just eating it all over Christmas, right through till New Year, and then by the time New Year gets here, it's like, oh, I've had enough of this now. So we've not bought as much, but we started to eat it a little bit earlier in the, in the run up to Christmas. Obviously, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. We'll be doing a bit of cooking tomorrow. We'll roast up some meats, do the pigs in blankets, all that kind of thing, and on Christmas Day we'll do the vegetables, and that's it. Got a few presents to open. I know what I've got already. Tina doesn't know what she's got, so that's gonna be a surprise. Yeah, and then we'll open a few presents in the morning, have a slap up lunch, go and sleep it off somewhere, and yeah, she's off to hospital Boxing Day. But what can you do? What can you bloody do? So I've got a bowl of olives here as well. So let me just switch. No, I'll leave that camera on for now. So olives were pre-mini as well. I do like a nice olive. I like both of them, black and green. Obviously, denutted. How do you say that? Denutted. Sounds Italian, doesn't it?
It just means denutted.
So they've been denutted. Same sort of thing you do to balls. Denut them. And dogs, yeah. Ludo's got no nuts. You got no nuts, mate? Really? Let me put the other camera on and see if you can see Ludo in the hole over here. He's in there. Stick your head up, Ludo. It's a bit dark. I don't know if you can see him on there. Yeah, so we've got one dog in there and she's down there by the radiator. You might actually be able to see her. That's quite a wide angle on that camera. Yeah, she's down there and he's in there. Anyway, let's switch our main camera back on. Go back to the other page, it's easier for me to read. So, yes, it's that time of year again. While we're at it, for supper, we've got some, because it's always nice to have a little bit of pickle or something with your cheese and biscuits. This is piccalilli that I made. I don't know if you can see in there. Homemade piccalilli. That's fantastic. Better than any shop bought stuff. This one here, I've not opened that yet. That is chili onion relish. That's one I made this year. Sam will attest to how nice that is. So chili onion relish. I think I did a video on that because there was quite a lot of interest in that chili. Because I sent Sam a package of stuff with sauces and pickle relishes and stuff from the chilies that we grow. And he did a video where he was actually tasting some of it, and there was quite a lot of interest in that, in the pickles and stuff. So I did a little short video on how to make it. So if you're interested, it's on the channel somewhere. But that is superb stuff. We'll get to that shortly. But I think what I might do now is we're going to crack open this cider. They got like a champagne cork lid. So I'll take the metal bit off. There's not a lot of pressure behind them. What I always do is hold the cork and twist the bottle. Oh! There you go. Look at that. Now, before I do drink any of this, I will just point out that I will be drinking slightly funny tonight. Well, it depends how cold it is. Oh, look at that. And I'll tell you the reason. One of my tooth got bloody... I haven't got toothache at all. One of my tooth has fallen apart. I haven't got any kind of toothache or anything like that. But if I have anything cold, oh Jesus, so I sort of have to drink with my head on the side. So that the cold drink doesn't hit that tooth. So here goes. Cheers, Merry bloody Christmas. Well, I ain't too bad because it's not that cold. If you're a fan of fruity ciders, this stuff is superb. Oh, that is so nice. It's not that strong. It's only 2.5%, but yeah, Naturellement Rosé, Frais and Gourmand. What's Frais and Gourmand?
Fresh and tasty.
Fresh and tasty. So yeah.
There's that as well.
We discovered this stuff as well at Super Oo. I quite often cook with ale. I do like beer battered fish and stuff like that. Tina makes steak and ale pie, so we do quite often have ales in. Now Tina was looking at the ales and she's come back with this one, Beer Ruby, and I'm not going to drink it because I'm drinking cider tonight, but that is so nice. You could get yourself into a lot of trouble with that because it's 5% and it just falls down your neck. It really is so, well, what's it say it is? Well, gourmand and intense, so tasty and intense flavour. What is Beer Ruby? What's in it? Oh, I can't read that, it's too small. But anyway, that's a really nice, that's fruity, isn't it? She's going to have a look and she'll tell us. Salut. Cheers. Chin chin. You have to excuse the noise, she's just put the kettle on. It's gone. That is so nice. Sorry? No, I can get that drunk. Now, the very first live stream I did when the Christmas live stream in this house, which must have been 2019, I have done one every year,
So,
and certain years I've done different things. I think one year I built the engine, a little Stirling engine I built on the table here. Another year I did something else. One year Tina made pork pies and I sat here. The very first year I didn't have any tea. Sat down, cheese, biscuits and wine. What a mistake to make. Oh, that put me off wine and cheese for, well, it put me off wine for quite a long time. Cheese not quite so long, but what a rough night. I think I was up quite a bit in that night one night, and obviously I can't just jump out of bed and go to the toilet and spew my guts up, so I was fine until about 2 o'clock when I wake up in the night and have to have a pill, so sort all that out, and then I think I got back down to put my head back on the pillow, and I said to Tina, I said, I think you're going to have to get a bucket, and that was it. It was, yeah, and so I said, never again. So tonight we've had pork vindaloo and rice to line the stomach, as one does, but this stuff ain't that strong anyway. But I did say never again. Oh, bloody hell. So yeah, 23rd of December 2020. Where has this year gone? Flipping heck. It has flown by, really. I obviously remember doing a live stream last year, and I think the last live stream I did this year was in May. Obviously, I don't get that many people watching, but then I get a few people coming on, and then the old comments start going, and I start answering all these questions, this, that, and the other. Suddenly started echoing. Is the sound come back now? It might be because the kettle's on and it's upsetting the microphone. You'll have to let me know if it's. Let me just have a quick look on here. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if it's coming through all right. Trouble is I can't tell at this end because I don't have any sound coming out of that. The default settings, it doesn't have any sound coming back at you because it would just go in a big loop, wouldn't it, and echo. Still got an echo. Oh shit. Let me just switch it to the other camera and I'll switch it back again, see if that makes any difference. Small camera. Right, we're on the small camera now. So you'll have to tell me if it's echoing on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it echoing for anyone else? Or is it just for Land Rover? Don't know who that is. No, still got an echo. Oh, what is going on? These computers and technology. No echoes. Right, I'll switch it back to the main camera. So I don't quite know what's going on. Is it still echoing now? It could be my connection to the internet. I don't know. Because I don't often have trouble with cameras and stuff. Tell you, if you just turn that camera around a little bit, I'm a bit off centre and I feel a bit skew-whiffed. Just go that way a little bit. A bit more. A bit more. That'll do. Oh. I don't quite know what's going on. No echo on small camera, just on the main camera. Why is that then? Hang on, let me see what's going on here. Properties. Right, let me just remove the audio and I'll put it back on. No. Advanced audio properties. What's what here? What's what? No. want to remove the audio. Oh, okay now. So is it working all right now? It could be my connection because I'm on wireless. When I live stream on the Mac in the office, that's hardwired in on an Ethernet cable, but this obviously the laptop's wired. Oh, okay. It's got to be my internet connection, so I do apologise for that. If it starts echoing again, you just have to imagine that I'm sat in the toilet.
Rearranged.
Is it raining?
It's wet. It's probably just low cloud and drizzle, but
Still a very slight echo, but it's fine. Well, all I can put it down to is the our internet connection, and the weather is not best. Because we're not on fibre yet. We're still living out in the sticks, rural France.
you checked that recently.
No.
See if we're available.
Oh, it came back when you moved the camera. Oh. Where? No. If anything, it'll be that plug on the back. If it does it again, if they tell me it's echoing again, I'll just have a look at the wires. But it should be alright. Yeah, we're not on fibre yet. They're installing it all around us. And then hopefully, he did come round. They was walking up and down the road one day, and I stuck my head out the door. And he said, within 6 months you'll be on fibre. Which will be nice. The speed isn't. It's better. It's obviously a lot better. But we're on ADSL or VDSL. VDSL. We're on VDSL, so we get 38 to 40 download and up to 7 download, which it's quick enough for uploading videos to YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, fibre is going to be a bit quicker, which will be nice. Be very nice. So I'm just come back to the other page now. Well, I might as well just leave it on this one now because I don't want to keep changing settings. So, call that peak the old sound when I cough. I'm just going to fill my glass up again.
See you in a bit.
Yeah, see you soon. So Tina's just taking the dogs out. She gives them their, it's a cup of tea. We used to give them a cup of tea, but tea's not very good for dogs apparently. So we just give them a bit of milk in a bowl and they think they're getting a cup of tea. And well, she'll take them out around the field now. And they'll go and do their business. So, here's to you all out there. Cheers and a Merry Christmas. So yeah, this year has gone pretty quick. Obviously, a lot of it's been taken up with Tina, backwards and forwards to the hospital. And we've got a few jobs done. We've got all out the front here fenced in with a new gate on the front. We've put a ramp. We've got some decking outside the front door here, so with a ramp going down to the road. And we built a ramp to go down because obviously in there. Let me switch to the other camera. Through that hole there, that was in the barn. No, that was in the barn. So we're having a solid fuel boiler in that room. So obviously the barn's quite a lot bigger than that. We've only just built about 1.5 metres that way and about nearly 3 metres that way. So we've got obviously the barn door and then the cow shed, but to get into that I had to go up on the road, go along the road and then come backwards down a steep grass bank and then get into the barn. Which wasn't ideal. So yeah, we built a ramp down there. We've put like a retaining wall, built all that back up. Tina's been growing herbs and stuff out there. We put some membrane down and some chalk, whackered it all down with a whacker plate. Trouble with this cider, it's quite gassy. Pardon me. Oh, how rude. We bought this place in 2018, but we didn't move in straight away because we still had a house over in the Charente. That house was Tina's parents. Obviously, both of her parents have died, so she's an only child. Got left the house. We was living there when I ended up in hospital, but that house was ideal really because the bathroom was downstairs. It was a big house, a big 3-bedroom house with a stair lift. So we had a big bathroom, washroom downstairs with a living room, dining room, kitchen, say 3 bedrooms, a massive barn. Before I ended up in hospital, we was talking about selling up and moving and buying a proper working farm, where we would have had livestock, this, that and the other, and done it properly, got into the French farming system and done it all officially and that. Obviously I ended up in hospital and then it sort of came out. But they started building all up round us and it was starting to feel like we was getting hemmed in a little bit. All the neighbours, their back gardens faced into our house. And it's sort of like, I said to Tina one day, I said, do you fancy moving? I said, I know I'm stuck in this bloody wheelchair now, I says, but we'll find somewhere that's suitable. So she said, the only reason I didn't suggest it was because I didn't think you wanted to. So anyway, we started looking around, we looked at a couple of places. There's not many places that are very wheelchair friendly in France. But we found this place, Tina found this place online, and we bought it in 2018, I think. Yeah, so it needed a lot of work doing. So Dad has been fantastic. He rewired the house, he put new windows in, he did the bathroom for us, he's done the kitchen. So we was doing quite a lot of work, going backwards and forwards to the other house because we hadn't sold that yet. It was a little bit... If you've got 2 properties and you sell one, you get clobbered with a massive tax bill. So we was a little bit concerned, but the estate agent assured us that if you've got one property up for sale and then you buy another one and you're still trying to sell that one, it doesn't affect you. So luckily that didn't affect us. But so we was backwards and forwards, coming here for long weekends, going back to the other house for appointments and stuff like that, and then coming back here and doing some work. And I think then we moved in probably full time end of March 2019. So yeah, we've had this place for a while, and it's slowly taking shape. With me being in a wheelchair, I can still do quite a lot of stuff. I can jump on the tractor and cut the grass. I can jump on the digger and stuff, and like I can still do a lot. But everything is like 3 times slower. Obviously, once the Hobbit got her diagnosis, she was out of work. She couldn't go to work. She slowed right down as well. So just jobs that normal able-bodied people would think, oh, well, I'll just do that and it'll be done. It takes us 3 times as long. So jobs do drag on a little bit round here. Having said that, we got all that done. I dug all the trench out. That's when we had all our plumbing issues, when I went through the pipe with a spade. So Tina's now an expert in plumbing. Dug a trench, concreted it. Dad breeze blocked up because the barn floor is probably almost 1 metre lower than this floor. Evening, James Gibb. Yeah, that's right. Bloody screen so small. Yeah, so the floor in the barn's nearly 1 metre lower. So he built a breeze block sort of thing up, sort of 3 or 4 courses. Then we filled that up with hardcore rubble, put some membrane down, reinforced it, and we concrete that. Yeah, I mean, Dad's been pretty spot on this year with all of that. And it's handy for like doing the roof. We've got a leak in the roof. I think we might, fingers crossed, touch wood, we might have sorted that leak out. It's still a little bit damp on the wall, but it's been so bloody wet here since October. October was wet, November was wet, December's been wet, and we've had a few days where it's been sort of not too bad. But it's just bloody horrendous, the weather. But houses in France don't have damp course. And this house is built on dirt. No damp course. So obviously as the water table comes up, the ground gets so saturated, the water comes up and it sort of gets damp in the house. It's not ideal, but there's not a lot we can do about it really, unless I win the lottery tonight. Or tomorrow. I bought a ticket, a special one for Christmas Eve as well. I'm just testing these olives out because they are bloody nice. I used to like the ones you could get in Tesco's. Those olives stuffed with Tabasco. Bloody marvellous. Yeah, so yeah, Dad's fantastic when it comes to jobs like this. He's going to come and finish up. Let me just put the other camera on, I'll see if you can see it. Up the top there, he's just going to put some plasterboard, just to finish that off. And then we can sort of tidy the edges of the hole up and then decorate in there. I mean, that's the solid fuel boiler's going in there with the pipe work running out to the boiler room, so we can plumb it all into the heating system. Pardon me. Cheers. Merry Christmas. But in there we're sort of we're going for the industrial look. With, you know, it's a concrete floor. We're going to paint the floor with, I've got some grey floor paint. We're going to paint the walls probably with the same colour as these walls, which is sort of like a light grey. It's neutral. Well, we put a lot of these signs up. I don't know if you can see these signs. We've got a lot of it, like vintage looking signs. They're all round. So we'll probably get some dotted around in there. I've got Tina some for Christmas. Can't say it too loud because she might be in there. Yeah, cheers. Fruity cider, bloody marvellous. What's it like getting trays in to do work? I found a challenge I don't like. Well, we've never had a trade come in to do anything. If between me and my dad we can't do it, well, we've not had anything that we can't do yet. I say my dad rewired all the house. Obviously French electrics are totally different to UK electrics. So we did all that. I've actually got into house electrics through the solar stuff. I had no clue about house electrics, whether it's in the UK or France. Did a little bit of research, asked my dad a few questions, and that's quite straightforward now. And I've not electrocuted myself yet, so yeah. We did have a plumber come out, and he was alright. He came out, he gave us a quote, no problem at all. What do we want doing? We wanted to... Trouble is that we got steel pipes on our central heating. When we redid the bathroom, we wanted a heated towel rail, which goes floor to ceiling. And my dad was like, I don't know how to go from steel pipes to copper pipes, because copper pipe is what you get up the road at the Bricko. So the plumber came out, he took the radiator out of the bathroom and he just put a couple of fittings on the end of the steel pipe. It was just like a union, you know. He put it on, I don't know if he threaded it or what, but he did all that, and then he says you just unscrew those, screw your copper pipes on, and away you go. So my dad managed to plumb the towel rail in. I'm not quite sure when it comes to this boiler. I'll probably do the plumbing on the back of the boiler, which is just sat here at the moment. There's 4 pipes. You've got flow and return, and then you've got a thing for a safety valve, and there's another one. So I'm probably just going to run him along the back of it. so that they all come to the same point, run them through the wall. I'll probably do the plumbing from the boiler all the way right round to the boiler room, and then we might get a plumber in to connect it up, because obviously we've got an oil boiler and we've got a obviously solid fuel boiler. We want to be able to just switch one over to the other, you know, without any messing about. The idea of that is, if say sort of like late autumn you want a little bit of heat on of an evening, we can just flick the oil boiler on for say an hour. Whereas if we're going to have to fire up this solid fuel boiler, that's going to be running for a good few hours. Obviously you need to get it up to temperature, chuck some logs on it, and then obviously if you shut it down for it to go off, you're going to be 3 or 4 hours. You might not want that much heat. So with the oil boiler, you just flick it on for an hour and that's it, switch it off again. That's the plan anyway, so we can just switch from one to the other, which is not a big deal. My dad's got that system at their house. He's got a big boiler, oil boiler and a log boiler with a selection of taps that you have to turn to go from one to the other. So yeah, have you got any chili specials for Christmas or coming up on your channel? Well, I've got a chili special here, if that's what you mean. This is a chili onion relish which I made in might not be having it tonight. Oh dear. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. That was well sealed. Oh, that is heaven. Heaven in a pot. Chili onion relish. Now, I don't know if you can see that without it falling out. I didn't chop the onions up quite as small as I normally do. Yeah, so we'll be trying out some cheese in a minute. Might get stuck into a bit of cheese in a moment, but I'm quite enjoying these olives actually. They are rather nice. And as I say, they are the pre-mini, so it's the...
knowing they're cheap.
Yeah, knowing that they're cheap is bloody marvellous. So let me just have a quick look on here. 13 people watching. I think the echo's gone now. Or if it hasn't gone, it's very faint. Yeah, so, you know, we don't really have any problem. Getting back to that question about trades, you know. Just reading through a few of these comments. I even put up some Christmas lights today, much to Tina's dismay. She doesn't like coloured lights, especially if they're flashing. Huh? Oh, you're such a bloody humbug. We've got lights on the Christmas tree, but they're static lights and they're white. Huh? I don't know. See what I've got to put up with. Right. Well, a swig of cider. Cheers. Merry Christmas. And I'm going to crack open a bit of cheese. So, bit of L322 chat. Got the gearbox to service at some point. Got all the parts for doing it. So that'll be coming in fairly soon. Well, say fairly soon. At some point. Let's just put the small camera on. Oh look. Now what should we go for? A bit of mature cheddar. A bit of mimolette. I'm going to try a bit of mimolette. With a bit of chili relish on it. Now, does this say Overture for seal? No, it says resealable, so it should come open. Oh, Merry Christmas to Robert. Thank you for joining us. We're just about to open the Mimolay. This is a bit like a Red Leicester. It's looking the... Oh, that camera's getting a bit dicky. Has my speed gone a little bit? Let's peel a bit of that off. I don't want all that on it. Wax. Oh, look at that. It has got another little bit of... another little bit of... That can come off. Let's try a bit of that. I do like a bit of cheese. When I was at school, my mum used to make me a packed lunch every day. I was at primary school. So yeah, she used to make me a packed lunch every day. She said, "What do you want in your sandwiches today?" "Cheese." Next day, "What? Cheese and pickle. Cheese and pickle. Cheese and pickle." And then it was sort of like, "Oh, cheese and tomato, please." It was always cheese. So I'm going to try a little bit of this chili relish. These onions are quite big, actually. There goes. Merry Christmas. Yes, when it comes to servicing the gearbox of any car, make sure you take the filler bung out first. Now, I did a video on this when we had the TD6. For about a day, I kept saying to Tina, "Take the filler bung out first. Take the filler bung out first." Got all the camera gear on, going, "Take the filler bung out first." Got under the car, dropped the oil out of the sump. "Oh balls, I forgot to take the filler bung out." And then I couldn't get it out. Yeah, cheese daily. I mean, I don't have as much cheese as I used to, but... Oh, this is quite nice actually, the old chili relish. I think there's a few of us in the chat that have got L322s. That's why a lot of people come to the channel. I've got some piccalilli, which is homemade. Let's try a little bit of that. Oh, that chili relish is a bit strong. I've forgotten how... Oh, that ain't happening, is it? That chili onion relish. Oh.
You know, it's just falling down.
I don't know if you saw that, but my lights just fell down. Yeah, see. Yeah, my channel's quite a funny channel, really. I mean, I've had a channel since 2009, I think, and I was just posting... you might all have heard this story, I've probably told it numerous times. Just posting like family stuff on it and sharing it amongst family and friends. Then I moved to France and I didn't really put that, I put a few videos on there, like off-roading at my mum and dad's last house. When I had a Range Rover Classic. And then I met Tina and moved in with Tina, and there's a few videos with the dogs and this, that and the other. And I didn't really sort of start videoing until I come out of hospital, was it?
Yeah.
When I come out of hospital, obviously stuck in a wheelchair, at the old house, we was growing chilies. We had a greenhouse and a polytunnel, both full. Well, one year we had about 85 plants, which doesn't sound a lot, but when you get, oh, excuse me, good couple of hundred on each plant, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
85 plants, when you can get a good couple of hundred of chilies on each plant, that's quite a lot. So I was doing pottering around, doing a lot of gardening, so I called the channel the Paraplegic Gardener. That was, again, just for showing a bit of progress. I was doing some exercising and that, and I was trying to stand up with a Zimmer frame and this, that and the other. Then we bought the Audi, and I did it was an Audi A4 Quattro, 2.5 V6, 180 horsepower. Probably shouldn't have bought it, to be honest, because anyway, long story that one. But I did a video on that, and that was quite sort of getting a few views, and I thought, oh, all right. And anyway, then we bought this place, and Tina said, well, the Audi's not really going to be suitable for going over the field, because although it was four-wheel drive, it was as low as arseholes. So she said, do you want to see about getting a Range Rover or something? She knew I love Range Rovers. So that's where we bought the TD6. Got my sister to bring it over. Did a couple of videos on that, and it just went mental. My videos were getting like thousands of views over a weekend, and it's like, bloody hell, what's going on here? I thought, well, I can't, if we're going to sort of be doing car videos and repairing and this, that and the other, I can't really call it the Paraplegic Gardener. So that's when I changed the channel to Ben's Garage, and that's when a lot of my subscribers were coming to the channel for the Range Rover content, which just went mental. It's died off a little bit now, but I don't know why. Well, I do. Yes and no, I do know why. When I started putting out L322 content, there was very little on YouTube. There was a few videos out there that were sort of L322, but not a lot. I mean, I did change the front control arms. I did some other jobs on it, and this, that and the other, and I did a video on how to register a car in France and what to buy, what to look out for, and this, that and the other. And they were just getting thousands and thousands of views, and I sort of went from like 1,000 subscribers to sort of 6,000 subscribers within a couple of months. It just went mental. Nowadays, if you put in L322, there's quite a few channels that are putting content out with the old Range Rover. A big reason for that is because they're so cheap now, especially in the UK. We bought the TD6 for 3,500. My sister drove it over here. We registered it in France. But it was cheap. At the time, you couldn't really get a TD V8 for less than 12 to 15 grand. Now they are properly dirt cheap because they've done a lot of miles, and it's not normally the first owner. The first owner is normally main dealer serviced, aren't they? Because the people that buy them new have got the money. They'll keep them main dealer serviced, regular intervals, and then you'll get like the second or third owner that have bought it, and they can't really afford to run it properly. They can't afford to take it for main dealer servicing to get things repaired as they should be. So then they pass it on to the next person cheap. People buy it cheap, and then that's when you're getting all the videos on YouTube where people have bought them dirt cheap. They've got tons of miles on it, lack of maintenance everywhere, and they're just money pits. So that's why you need to buy a good one. But even then, you're not guaranteed. So yeah, that's why a lot of commenters have got L322s. But why wouldn't you, really? Best car in the world. Not according to Tina. She'd tell you it was Panda 4x4 all day long.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How about sharing the chili relish some there if you want it. I don't suppose you'll be here until after Christmas. I did put a recipe on the channel, how to make it. So if you're interested, look through my videos and you'll see how I made it. But let's just have another spoonful, shall we? Oh, look at that. Oh, superb. Panda 4x4, love them. We'll have one for sale soon if you want one. I'm going to crack open the mature cheddar. Yeah, I did watch Lucy on Cars, a couple of her videos, but then she started regurgitating out content that I'd already done. And I thought, I ain't watching a video of stuff that I've already done, so... But it's like I was saying in other videos where I was like trying to get ideas of what people wanted to see. There's only so much you can do. Unless you've got a Range Rover that keeps breaking down every 5 minutes and you're forever fitting parts, you're just going to be doing content that's boring for people, and I don't want to be doing that. Yeah, it's left-hand drive, it's French. It will probably be the most sorted Panda 4x4 up for sale. I've done everything on it. Front shocks, springs, lower arm, ball joint, hubs, wheel bearings, brakes, so it's had discs, pads, calipers. On the back he's had new leaf springs, new shock absorbers, new wheel bearings, new drums, new shoes, new cylinders. It's had 2 new headlights in it.
Wow.
I've done the cam belt, water pump, spark plugs, air filter, fuel filter. I've fitted electronic ignition on it. I've got a few jobs to do on it. Oh, brand new steering rack. A new new ignition lock. Changed all the locks on the doors so that they're all the same key. Ignition is a different key. New wiper motor on the back. So new steering rack, but I've got the wrong track rod ends. I bought the track rod ends. I got them from Ricambio in the UK, and they said, yeah, these are the ones for your car. Give them all the chassis number and everything. I fitted them all, but I could not get the tracking. The tracking is it's either towing in or towing out, and there's not a lot of adjustment left. Looking on AutoDock, there's a choice of track rod ends. There's some that are 150mm, and there's some that are 85 or 90mm. So I need the shorter ones. So I've got to order those. I need to order a couple of side repeaters for the wings, and I need to put a new drive shaft gaiter on the gearbox because it's leaked all its. I put a new one on, but there's a choice of 2. I think I've put the wrong one on, and the oil was leaking out. So the gearbox hasn't been driven dry. It's just I swapped the drive shaft gaiter over and put the wrong one on. So it leaks oil out in the garage. So yeah, I've got that to do. I've got there's a round ring on the exhaust, got to change that, that's blowing a little bit, and then that's it, it's going for a CT, and then it's going up for sale. This cheddar is bloody marvellous. Don't often have cheddar. Obviously Super U do it up the road, but I'm quite happy with French cheese, to be honest. But this is really nice. It's at room temperature as well, so it's So, up in the garage, I don't know if you saw the last video that I put out, I've been tidying it all out so that we can get the Panda back in there after Christmas. So I can get these last little jobs done, and then get it up for sale. So we was up there today, cutting up some those beams that were in there. They were 5 metres long, but I only needed 2.85 for my workbench. So we cut them up today. So at some point over the festive period, when Tina's not at hospital, I'll get the workbench made and we'll tidy up the garage, and the Panda will be back in there, and there'll be some videos coming up with the Panda. They always fall on their arse. But yeah, if you like interested in pandas, there'll be some content for that coming up. It's all good stuff, isn't it? I'm going to try. These are Super Oo crackers. They've got a peel strip here, so should be able to peel it open. Now, if you're in France, I don't know, you can probably get them in there. Love my TD6, your new one doesn't need as much as the TD6 did. No, our new one is, well, I'll say touch wood. It's very low miles, it's only done 80,000 miles I think. It's got full service history. TD6, both, it come from the UK, and both the front and rear subframes were rotten. But in France they don't put the salt on the roads. They put something on the road, but it's not like salt. And it doesn't seem to corrode the cars that much. I'm going to try this biscuit. I'll try it without the cheese first. Oh, it's broken in half. It's fairly similar to a tuck biscuit. Not quite as flavourful. This is very naughty. So when we took the car for a CT last time, he did advise the front control arms had worn, not excessive, but they got play in them, and the rear control arms have worn as well. The front ones are a piece of cake, I can do them. You waving?
No.
Oh. Oh. Oh well. Your daughter's quite lucky then, isn't she? She's learning to drive in your Range Rover.
That's some insurance.
Huh?
That's some insurance.
Don't know. I learned to drive. My parents wouldn't take me out driving lessons or anything like that, so my only drive, well, I knew how to drive anyway. Working at the garage, I was always shunting cars in and out. But yeah, my driving instructor had a Rover Metro. It was about, I think it was about a K-Reg. Was it? When was it? It would have been 93 or 94. When did I pass my test?
That's me.
94. Yeah, I think it was a K-Reg Metro. So I don't know if that was a Rover Metro, or because they had funny. They started calling them the Rover 115 or something stupid. Bloody terrible cars, really. When you're learning to drive, you've got big feet because the pedals were so close together. My first driving lesson, I went with Doc Martens on, and I was pushing all the pedals at the same time. And he said, "I tell you what, next time you have a driving lesson, wear your slippers." So I did, and it was perfect. I only had 4 lessons, booked my test and passed first time. So yeah, all good stuff really. Well, a Fiat Panda 4x4 might be a very good first car. True, they are quite expensive in France, I'll tell you that. As are most cars in France, second hand. And new, obviously. Cheers, Merry Christmas. Keep saying that. Let's just have another bit of cheese on a cracker. Bread Van Mazda 121. My actual first car was a let me just have a quick look at this. My first car was a 1975 Mark II Escort that my nan won on Spot the Ball. She won, I think, November 1975. So it's P-Reg at the other end. So my granddad had it in his garage. My nan died, I can't remember when, about 92 I think. And I think I was 16 and I phoned him up and said, Grandad, your old car, do you ever use it? And he said, no, he says, I walk around the day centre. I said, well, I'm 17 next year. He said, can I have your car? He says, he didn't take a lot of convince. He said, yeah, all right then. And yeah, so we went down there to pick it up. Dad drove it back. Bloody horrendous. First gear was alright, second gear was alright, third gear you could not hear yourself think. Fourth gear was alright. I did drive it for a long time with the gearbox like that. No, it only done 27,000 miles. But I think he'd only ever changed the spark plugs in it once in 20 years. Probably only changed the oil in it a couple of times. It had quite a few supermarket scars on it. But it was great. It was my first car. Did the job. Yeah, in France, second-hand car prices are ridiculous. It's like the old Panda. We'll put that up for like 5.5, 6 grand, and you think, bloody Fiat Panda, and it's not the nicest example. The interior is a little bit tatty. Outside, the paintwork's lovely. I think it's been painted at some point. And you'd think, Christ, 5.5, 6,000 for a bloody Fiat Panda. It's a 1987, so it's not exactly modern. But then you look on there, there's some really tatty ones that have got no CET on them for like 3.5, 4 grand. And then a really tidy example, you're looking at 10 to 12,000 plus. You know, they're ridiculous prices. How dare you? Oh. So yeah, as I was saying, with the control technique on our Range Rover, he's advised the front control arms and the rear control arms. And as I said, the front ones are a piece of cake. I can change them, absolutely no problem at all. And I think I've probably got some in the garage because they're exactly the same as the TD6. Rear ones going to be a bit more tricky, I think. A lot of people just change the actual arms. That, you know, complete with the bushes. But if I can get the arms off, I'll put new bushes in them and put it all back together again. Hopefully, we'll have to see. we only have a control technique every 2 years, so it was done last December, so I don't need to do it this December, but next December it will go back in for a test. He might just advise on them again, or he might fail it, in which case I've got 2 months to fix it, which shouldn't be a big deal really. Just something to bear in mind, save our pennies if we've got to buy some parts. But, so I've got the gearbox service to do. Hopefully once we get the Panda in the garage and get that fixed and out, I can get the Range Rover in and get that gearbox serviced. I'm not too worried about it because it's only done 80,000 miles. And I don't know when ZF recommend changing the oil, whether it's 60,000, but obviously there's a bit of confusion over this. It's not really a lot of confusion, it's things are not clear, and it's got picked up on the internet. Oh, that gearbox is sealed for life. No, the gearbox is sealed for life for the life of the warranty on the car. Once the warranty's out on the car, you need to service your gearbox. So, you know, you get all these people on the internet saying, oh, all right, gearbox, Land Rover say it's sealed for life, but it's not. You know, you can't expect a gearbox to run indefinitely without changing the oil and the filter, obviously, servicing it. So I know a lot of cars have had their first gearbox service with quite a lot of miles on them, and they're still running all right. And as I say, we don't drive hard, we don't do a lot of miles. I won't be flushing it. All I can do really, obviously at home, is dump all the oil out, change the filter that's all in the sump, put it back on, fill it back up with oil, potentially change the oil again next year or whenever. I know Sam over at Sam's Motor and Machine, he had a Mecca flush or something where the bloke come out to his house, plugged all his machine in it, pumps all the old oil out, pumps new oil in. I don't know anyone that does that round here, so I'll be doing it old school method, dropping it out the bottom, changing the filter, putting it all back together, and that's it basically. Yeah, take the filler bung out first. Take the filler bung out first. Right, what are we having now? Let's have another little bit of mature cheddar, because I do like a bit of cheddar. As I say, we don't have it that often. Not for any other reason, but French cheese is just as good. We quite like a bit of Comte. We normally have Emmental for everyday cheese, because it's cheap. Obviously, we're living on a bit of a tight budget at the moment. Hobbit's not back to work. Yeah, she's getting a bit pissed off that she can't get back to work, but something's not right. So, what do you do? Luckily in France, the healthcare system is so bloody good. Unfortunately, it's over Christmas, so she's got a Boxing Day the day after and then the day after that. But it's all, one's a echo,
which is ultrasound.
Ultrasound scan Boxing Day. Next day,
MRI.
MRI the next day, and then a PET scan the day after that.
2.5 hours.
Hopefully, we'll get to the bottom of it.
If that all finds nothing, it can only be the medication and they can change it.
Yeah, she just said if they don't pick up anything on the scans, the only thing it can be is the medication that they've put her on, which they can change. And then, fingers crossed, she can get back to work, start earning some money, and we can live a little bit better. We'll probably still be buying the budget food because.
Right, we will. What?
All this pre-mini food, right? This petit brie. It's got pre-mini on it. That's like Tesco's value, the deck chair food. It tastes just as good as anything. A block of that is cheaper than a wedge of President Brie. And you can't tell the difference. This is like really creamy, quite really nice Brie. In fact, it's that nice, I'm going to open it now. Yeah. Tina, have you got an OBD port?
What?
An OBD port.
What's that?
He said, hook her up to the IID tool, the gap tool we plug into the Range Rover.
Why?
To give you a good scan.
Oh.
Onboard diagnostics.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, she said if only. So yeah, we'll try a bit of this Brie. Trouble is the knife gets stuck in it. Now when I was a kid, we used to have cheese at Christmas. We'd get a bit of Brie. It's a bit bright, isn't it? Can you see that? I used to peel the skin off of it, thinking, oh no, you can't eat that, but nowadays we don't do that sort of thing. But yeah, it's quite a nice bit of Brie. That's so nice. And for pre-mini as well, it's cheap. Oh. Superb.
I like price comparison of everything.
See, what we started doing, I know we're not getting a lot of Range Rover talk in here. She found it funny, so you don't need to be sorry.
Oh God, no.
We both have a bit of a warped sense of humour, so sounds like you'll fit right in. What was I saying?
You were about to go on about deliveries, were you? Shopping?
Oh yeah. When Tina first got diagnosed, no, it was when you started chemo, wasn't it? She started chemo. Obviously, when you start chemo, your immune system basically goes. So she didn't really want to go up to the shops and mingle with the general public. So she was pissing about online or whatever, and yeah, I would do, but can't get any oven at the moment. Got lights all over it. So she started ordering our shopping online, and they deliver it to the house. I know it sounds remarkable. For people in the UK, it's nothing, is it? Supermarkets have been doing that for bloody donkey's years. Here in rural France, it is a bit of a novelty. Anyway, so once a month we have a shopping order, gets brought to the house, and we try to spend about between 150. If you spend 150 euros, it's free delivery. So we're sort of normally between 150 and 200 euros a month on food. And then Tina will go in, not while she was having chemo, but we've carried on having the shopping delivered. She gets on the online thing and she's comparing all the prices. Oh, this is so much a litre more than this one. So now we do one shop a month, gets brought to the house, and then normally a fortnight after that, she'll pop up there and get some fresh food, you know, vegetables and salad or whatever. So that has brought our spending down a little bit.
I can't see the offers, are we?
Because she used to go up there and it's like, she'd come back and with a list, she don't take a list, but then she'd come back and I was like, that wasn't on the list. It's all coming in. It's like the old conveyor belt on Generation Game with Bruce Forsyth, and I'd be like watching stuff coming in the house like that. It's like, well, that wasn't on the list. That wasn't on. How much you bloody spent? She's about 240 this time. You know. But now, obviously, it's all online. She does comparisons. She doesn't see the special offers. in the shops, so she doesn't walk round and go, oh look, we'll have some of that. And it has brought the shopping expenditure down quite a bit, which is nice. But what can you do? Price of bloody living nowadays has gone through the bleeding roof. I'm going to have another bit of this brie. It is quite nice. Sorry?
Suppose you've not got Ludo in there.
No, well, yeah. Inflation is getting fierce. I saw a bottle of washing liquid earlier and it was £25. £25?
For what?
For a wash? Is that? It's behind a bloody love heart. I can't see what that is. Let me have a look on the other one. Washing liquid, I think. Bottle of washing liquid. Jesus Christ. Well, you wouldn't do it, would you? Surely. That is so good. I can't express how, I can't get it across to people how good that is. I'm just seeing what else we've got to try on the table. Got some of this stuff. Oh, what, the herb one?
Yeah.
What beer goes well with cheese and relish? This one would go very nicely with cheese and relish. I don't know if you can get it in England. This is Abbey de Flandre. It's a beer ruby. That would go nice with cheese and relish, wouldn't it? It's a fruity beer.
Same with the blonde.
The blonde one, it's like a bit of an ale. Now I was talking about this earlier. It's 5%, but you don't know you really drink it. It tastes just like a fruity ale, but it's not. Well, it just goes down your neck really, really easy. I think that would go quite nice with cheese and chilli relish. But for today's experiment, we have raspberry cider. Yeah, Persil, 74 washes,
Jesus.
£25.
I'll get Savon de Marseille, 50 washes for €6.
Merry Christmas, cheers. Yeah, Tina's just said she gets Savon de Marseille. Marseille? Savon de Marseille, 50 washes, €6. That's a little bit different. I know there's a few more washes with the Persil, 74, but only 24 more. Hell's bells. What is this world coming to?
Jesus, I will wash it in. Just not water.
So yeah, that's another reason why we buy all the pre-mini stuff. But it doesn't bother us, we're not food snobs. A lot of stuff we make ourselves anyway.
Have you opened up the...
No, I'm just about to,
I'll do a rag.
These things here, it's like, what do they call it? French breakfast toast.
Yeah.
This is like French breakfast toast. You'd think it was stale. Sometimes they're quite often just a little square thing. Tina picked these up the other day. They're quite nice. Oh, I can't get one out. Pardon me. Pardon me. They're like biscotti, she called it. Now I've got a little bit of pate here, so I'm going to finish that up on one of them, and then I'm going to open up the garlic and fine herb cheese, and we'll put that on the other one. Oh, look at that. I'm going to be a bit excessive here and put all that on there. It's got to go, innit?
That was free money.
What?
The pate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, pre-mini pate. Well, yeah, it's the same in France. Beer's still dirt cheap in France. Isn't it, I think?
Yeah.
Pretty much, compared to other stuff.
Anything that's bad for you over here, chocolate is cheap.
Yeah. Anything that's bad for you, that you can either get addicted to, or it's not good for you. So chocolate is really cheap. Sweets, you know. But if you want to start eating healthy, like fruit and veg and stuff that's good for you, it's bloody expensive. Right, here we go. Look at that nice bit of patty on biscuit. Danish blue is bloody lovely. We got a couple of blue cheeses in the fridge. A nice Roquefort, and the other one's just a Super U's own blue, which is really... Eh?
Blue d'Auvergne.
Blue d'Auvergne. Blue d'Auvergne.
It's a region.
It's a region in France, and that is really nice. It's a really sort of creamy blue cheese. Roquefort's quite nice. It's quite a strong, tangy flavour. But yeah, this here pate, it's mousse de foie, isn't it? Yeah, the other one was duck, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, it's quite nice. I'm going to crack open this. Very, very nice. Now, as I said, the first year I did the Christmas live stream, it was cheese and wine. Oh, never again. I had a bit of a bad episode with that one. But tonight, we're fairly safe.
Famous last words.
Huh?
It's famous last words.
I've got some little... I was messing about a bit with this software. I'll just put this one up and show you, see what you think. Get the Pernod out, bloody Pernod. Not had Pernod for a long time. Pastis, you get pastis in front. What is Pernod? Is it similar to pastis?
I have no idea. I remember Mum and Dad drinking.
I have had Pernod before. But yeah, we've got Samrock tonight, which is a cheap version of Bailey's. Right, Tina, I'm going to be opening this herb and what's it? It is the software I'm using is OBS Studio. Pernod and Black. I have had Pernod before. What does it taste like? Is it like an aniseedy type drink? Well, I'm going to lick the lid. Ooh, that's nice.
I'll say, I remember Mum and Dad having it, but I don't remember drinking it.
Definitely an old drink. Now, is that an old drink or an old person's drink? I'm going to try some of this soft cheese on a couple of crackers. And then I'm going to try it on the large doings. Oh, look at that. We'll get back to some talking in a minute. Sorry, can't talk, eating. Oh, that is superb.
We nearly didn't get it. I went in.
Huh?
So you nearly didn't get it, it's only because I went in.
Well, yeah. I'll be back with you momentarily. Oh, this is lovely. Forgot how good this was.
That's why it's nice, we don't have it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave it there. You've got a plate, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got one of them. I only want to try it on my own biscuit.
Yeah, I'll put it on the corner there and you can help yourself. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Alan. I'm assuming that's your name, Monkey Alan. Power cut, so much snow. Well, we've not had any snow, so you're one up on us. Have a great Christmas to yourself as well. Santa is bringing for me this year a new air rifle. Oh yeah.
Santa's taking it back twice.
Now I have already had a look at this air rifle, so I know exactly what I'm getting. Obviously Tina ordered it for me and it turned up, she said you better check it, make sure it's right, because obviously on the day you don't want to open it up and find bits are missing, so I opened it up. And then I did have a little cheeky shoot with it the other day. But it's a PCP air rifle, I don't have to keep breaking the barrel. I'll just pump it up, and I don't know how many shots I'll get per fill, but I've got a proper high pressure compressor. I did have a stirrup pump. I've still got the stirrup pump, but it's such hard work. Oh my god. So we bought an electric compressor, a high power thing, 4,500 psi, and it's just pump it up, because I've got some bottles for some other guns I've got. But yeah, because that's one of my other hobbies, obviously. Bit of target shooting out in the garden. So yeah, I know exactly what I'm getting for Christmas. Tina hasn't got a clue, and I can't tell you because she's sat just over there.
I reckon it's a year's supply of wool.
No, I haven't got you any wool.
They're sheep.
Huh?
They're sheep.
No. Bloody sheep. You'd hear it, wouldn't you? It's been in that box since August.
You're obviously looking after it very well.
Oh. I'll quickly get this head down my neck and we'll get back to talking. I thought it was about 60,000. So I'm about 20,000 over, so that'll be a job for the new year.
job.
Yeah. Just change to the other camera for a second. If you can't be naughty at Christmas, when can you be naughty?
All year round.
Hey?
All year round, normally.
Well, yeah.
Can't see what these biscuits.
Tina's going to sneak in now for some biscuits and cheese. You got a knife?
Yeah.
Are you taking it over there?
Sorry?
You don't want to be on camera.
No. Can't do a thing with my hair.
So she said she doesn't want to be on camera. We wasn't planning to. I was just switched to that other camera so that we catch her. But she says she can't do a thing with her hair, so she doesn't want to be seen in public.
Don't care that much.
Yeah, so yeah. Panda's in next, then the Range Rover's going in. Get that gearbox serviced. Wanted to buy a reasonable air rifle. Can I cock it load to keep the vermin down? What would you recommend? That's not a daft price. I'll tell you what a lot of people use for vermin is a Crossman 2240 or 2250, the rifle version. Normally you can get the rifle scope for about €250. They're a single shot, so it's got a bolt on it, and it's CO2 powered. So you pop a CO2 cartridge in it, screw the thing back up. The first shot pierces the CO2 cartridge, and then you pull the bolt back, pop a pellet in it, close the bolt, and you're good to go, basically. My brother's got one. I've got the 2240, which is the pistol version. They're all 2.2s, so 5.5mm, so they're pretty good for vermin if it's not too far away, because it depends where you are in the world, of course, because then you've got laws regarding power. So in the UK, you're only allowed, on an air rifle, you're only allowed 12 foot-pounds, which 6 foot-pound for a pistol, 12 foot-pound for a rifle. This is in the UK. In France, it's all metric, so it's joules. We're allowed up to 20 joules, whether it's a pistol or a rifle. So yeah, you can get a Crossman. It's a 22. I will have a look on my iPad while we're here. I think it's a Crossman 22. They call them the rat catcher. So if you put in Crossman rat catcher, 2240. That's the pistol. So let me just put in 2250. $22.50 XL. Yeah, my brother's got one. He lives in Devon, and they had birds and stuff out in the garden in an aviary, and there was guinea pigs and God knows what, and they was getting a lot of trouble with rats. So he had a take-down PCP air rifle because he used to go to the shooting range on his motorbike, and he used to be able to take it all apart, fold it all up and put it in his rucksack. But he wasn't using that quite so much, but he needed something to dispatch these rats, so he got a Crosman 2250 XL. And they do call them the rat catcher. Obviously, that the Crosman has been... It came out in the late 50s, and I don't think they've really changed the design that much. So I've got the Crosman 2240, which is the pistol version, and you do get a hell of a lot of shots with one CO2 cartridge. They're quite cheap. You can get those CO2 cartridges anywhere, Amazon or wherever. It's 12 grams CO2. You pop it in the end, screw the end on, and away you go. Say first shot, just do it empty. Don't put a pellet in. First one, just cock the bolt, pull the trigger. That'll pierce the CO2 cartridge. Next one, you put your pellet in, and then you'll have full power, and away you go. And they're quite accurate. And if you're into modifying them, there's a hell of a lot of parts you can get from them. You can buy, if you're doing a lot of shooting, you can buy a new breech with a multi-shot magazine. So you just, every time you cock the bolt, the magazine goes around and it puts a new pellet in. Depends how far you want to go with it. But for I say most places in France was doing the bundle with the rifle and a scope for about €250, so it's quite cheap, but they are bloody awesome guns really. So, but there's so many to choose from, obviously, with air rifles. I had 2 break barrels. I gave one to my dad. I've got one that Tina bought me for Christmas a couple of years back. It's a wood stock on it, really nice, quite powerful. Puts out about 19, nearly 20 joules, which I think's almost 15 foot-pounds in France. But obviously I've got a shooting licence. I've got a category C licence for shooting, so I can have unlimited. I can have shotguns, pump-action shotguns, automatic shotguns. I've got a 2.2 long rifle. If you want it, yeah. I won't be drinking it. I've got a Bagara BMR 2.2 LR, which is fantastic. So accurate, it's unbelievable. But obviously you need a licence for that. This new air rifle that I've got, the PCP, is a Stoger XM1 S4. So the S4, it's got a suppressor on the end of it. Yeah, I'm looking for... I tried that with I just saw that fly.
It's December.
Yeah. I had a digital scope that was day and night vision that was sent to me for testing, because my other channel, Mad Dog Air Guns, I get a lot of stuff sent for testing and that. I put the digital scope on it, but I just can't quite get on with digital scopes for whatever reason. I've got an optical scope which it is so crystal clear when you look through it, and I just could not get on with that digital one. So I've taken the scope off my old air rifle, ready for Christmas Day when I get my new one. We'll get it all put on there, and
At least I know I won't be getting anything like that.
no. Well, I could have bought you a full-size bow and arrow this time.
Good, huh?
I bought Tina a bow and arrow, and it didn't say it was a junior one when I bought it, and it turned up. It's about that big, so you can sort of hold it and you pull it back to about there. I think that was cheap because it was a kid's one, and it wasn't that cheap. I bought her a pistol crossbow as well, which that's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, I must get that.
Like it comes with like bolts with it, and you just, to cock it, you do something, you pull the handle down, and it pulls the string back, locks it into place, and then you slide your bolt in, and you just aim it like a pistol, and it is got a lot of power for. I think it's 80 pounds power. It's all on crossbows and bows and arrows and that. It's all done on pounds. I don't know if it's the weight that it.
Isn't that the amount of
It's
force
the amount
needed
of,
to pull the string back?
it could be the amount of force needed to pull the string back. So yeah, £80, or yeah, sounds about right, because some of those big crossbows are 175.
Yeah.
Yeah, I nearly bought one of those once, but I thought no, because I'm going to end up having to bloody cock it all the time. So yeah, gun laws in France are a little bit different to the UK, and I get this so much on my other channel. We're not doing a lot of Range Rover talk here, are we? But on my other channel, Mad Dog Air Guns, I do a lot of shooting in the garden, this, that and the other. Obviously with air rifles and stuff like that, you can shoot them in your back garden, it's not a problem. The garden's all fenced in. We've got one neighbour over there and we've got one neighbour the other side of the road. So over the back here, there's nothing. It's all woods. There's a couple of farms right over the way, which, you know, over a mile away. So we can shoot on our own land. We're not allowed to shoot... I can shoot vermin, but the vermin has got to be classed as a nuisance by the department. If it's not classed as a nuisance and you need to dispatch some kind of animal, you have to get the chassin, which is like the local hunt, because you need a different licence for that. You need a chasse licence, which you have to go and sit an exam, so you know what animals you can shoot and this, that and the other, what times of year and this, that and the other. So yeah, I do all these videos over on that channel, and the amount of people, I mean, I used to say, I'm in France, before you start hammering the comments telling me I'm going to be going to prison, this, that and the other. And I've had quite a few threats of people saying they're going to get the police involved. It's like, you idiots. I'm in France. The laws are so different in France to what they are in the UK, but people just don't pay attention. They just jump on their bloody high horse and that's it. So yeah, it does get a bit colourful over on that channel. Well, I've got a few little jobs I want to do on the Range Rover. I want to finish the... I've got the CB aerial mounted on, but the cable's just all bundled up behind the back light. So I need to route that up to the front of the car and find somewhere for the CB. Not really much more I want to do. If money was no object, obviously I'd get some... Probably properly kit it out for off-roading. I probably wouldn't bother with a roof rack, full-length roof rack, because I can't get the gear up on the roof anyway. Tina would have to do that, and if it was too heavy, there's no way we'd get it up there. So those roof bars, the rails we put on with the crossbars, will be ideal. We can put the sand tracks up there and other bits and pieces that are not too heavy. I think when it comes to doing a bit of off-roading and going sort of camping and all that kind of thing, when money allows and, you know, all this, that and the other, I don't know whether to take the back seats out. Obviously leave a bit of space in there for the dogs, put their beds in it, and then we'll have a bit more boot space. Because the boot on the Range Rover, although it's a big car, it's not a massive boot really. Not once you get your wheelchair chucked in the back. The wheelchair it'll stand up sideways up towards the back of the seats. Well, of course, if you've got a lot of other gear in the car, you can't get your wheelchair. The wheelchair has to go in first, and then all the other stuff in behind it. Well, of course, that's leaving it all for Tina then to load the car up. So I'd have to get in the driver's seat. She'd put the wheelchair in, and then load it all up behind the wheelchair, and then we'd have to unload it all before I can get out. So it might be an idea to take the back seats out, build like a partition, out of a bit of wood or something, so that the wheelchair can stand up and go in long ways on up one side, so we can have all the like 3/4 of the boot all sort of kitted out with storage and stuff, and the wheelchair can just slide in up the side. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Tina's just mentioned the trailer. We're talking about having the, you know, later on down the line, whether we just try a bit of camping for a start and see how we get on with it, because we've got a tent and bits and pieces and we've got all the cooking gear. We'll perhaps go up to Mum and Dad's and camp in their field, see how we get on.
We're going to camp in our own field.
Oh yeah, we'll try it out in our own field.
Camp at Madeline.
If we sort of take to the camping side of it, I mean, I love the off-roading, I go like the adventuring and going out for cooking our lunch while we're out, this, that and the other. If we don't really take to the camping side of things, we've got a tent. We'll give it a whirl. If we do take to it, the plan was to, we've got the trailer, I don't know if you've seen the trailer, it's been in a lot of videos. We've got a twin axle trailer, it's got caged sides on it, but the sides all unbolt off. So twin axle, 750 kilos. The plan was that we could take the caged sides off, because you just unbolt them and they slide out, put some rails across the top of the trailer, put a roof tent on top of it, and then have all like camping gear underneath in the trailer, sort of thing. That would be further on down the line. But how is it going with the standing? Yeah, we've unbolted it now. We had a standing frame. My dad made a standing frame for our old house, so I used to pull myself up and put a belt round behind me. I've got like they call it a linesman's belt. It's like a belt for climbing up telegraph poles. So I sort of hook it on the bars round my arse, and it holds me upright, sort of thing. When it comes to getting on the tractor, I pull myself up on that. I wheel the wheelchair up to the tractor, bash my legs into it, not bash them, but go up close so my legs hit the tractor, and then I can pull myself up and just sort of stand there. If there wasn't anything in front of my knees, I've not got the strength to keep my knees locked. So if the tractor wasn't there, I tried pulling myself up. It depends how strong I'm feeling on that particular day, but I can sort of pull myself up. If I can get my hands down and push down, it doesn't really matter what my legs do. But if I'm sort of like pulling up and forwards, if my legs aren't against something, I can't lock my knees and I'll just be on the bloody floor. I'll do the same with the digger. As long as the digger's turned the right way around, so I can get between the tracks, get up to the digger, so my knees are hitting the side of the digger, grab hold of the bars and pull myself up. And then once I'm sort of stood up, I can sort of push down on the bars and sort of lift my whole body weight up, which takes some doing.
Start beating the crap out of your back.
Because I'm not exactly lightweight. New Year's resolution, I know we all say it, but I've been saying it for a long time. Got to get on with a program, get some weight lost and build up some muscle again. Now the planning with the barn, obviously we've got this little room. Let me switch to the other camera and you can see it. That little room in there. That little room in there is going into the barn. So obviously the barn is a lot wider than that, and it's a lot longer. So in that end of the barn, we're having the gym. So I've got my multi-gym, exercise bike, standing frame. It's a weight bench, but I don't have weights. I use it for doing sit-ups and stuff like that. That's all going in there. Because I'd like the standing frame in that room, the exercise bike was in that room, the multi-gym's up in the garage. It's all sort of all over different places. The weight bench was in my office. all going in there, set up. Obviously, in the new year, we're going to be concreting the floor, so I can wheel myself out there and really try and work on my legs and get rid of some weight.
And I have an idea.
And Tina came out with an idea the other day. I mean, she bought me one of those massage machines. Now, it is bloody vicious. I don't know if you've ever seen them. It's like a handle with a big thing on top with like a thing that punches you. You can change the head on it to different shapes. And it really bloody hurts if once you sort of get it cranked up and she's like, oh, have some of that. It's like, oh, no. But when I was in hospital, I was obviously rushed to Bordeaux. No, well, I went to Angoulême first. They airlifted me to Bordeaux. Surgeons were waiting for me. They did what they had to do, and then I was in intensive care for about a month. Almost a month, wasn't it? While I was in intensive care in Bordeaux, the physio woman used to come and visit, and she used to do stuff. And at the time, I could move my toes, and I could move my feet. Obviously, being bedbound was quite awkward. Obviously, I'd been split open, pulled apart, all my bloody innards had been dislodged, and new bit of pipe work put in, this, that, and the other. So I couldn't really do a lot, and I was stuck to the bed. Well, obviously, when I woke up, I was bloody chained to the bed. So I think that's so when you wake up and you see all these pipes and wires going in and out, you don't just rip them all out. But so the physio woman used to come out to the room and do exercises with me. I'm sure she was Australian, you know.
I think she was in Bordeaux.
Yeah, a blonde woman, wasn't she?
I only saw, if I even saw her.
Yeah, anyway, I could move my toes, move my feet and everything, and then they obviously transferred me to a hospital nearer to home, so I was then transferred back to Angoulême. All the time I was in intensive care there, I don't think anyone came. I don't remember any physio in intensive care, but they started coming to the room when I was on the cardiac ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Angoulême Hospital. How long was I in intensive care there?
3 weeks.
So another 3 weeks in intensive care at Angoulême. I didn't have any physio there, and then they moved me onto the cardiac ward, which is when it all went bloody downhill.
It already started going on.
I had in all these infections. People had to sheet up when they come into aprons and masks and gloves and God knows what, because I had all these different infections, this, that, and the other. I had a bed sore, top of my arse, well, bottom of my spine. Of course, I didn't know how bad it was. Tina and my parents never saw it, so they didn't know. They were just told.
I saw it at the centre and it was already beginning to heal.
So this bed sore at the top of my arse was sort of.
Must have been very deep.
It was I just remember someone saying that it's serious.
That's when you got to the centre.
Right.
They were horrified.
Yeah. So when they eventually moved me to the rehab centre, you get wheeled in, they take you in an ambulance, you're still in your hospital gown, get me up to the room, and then the whole team came out to see me in the room. So there was my doctor that oversaw everything. There was the physiotherapists all came out. So I used to have a session in the gym, which was all upper body stuff, so that I could transfer myself from the bed to the wheelchair, this, that and the other. There was physiotherapy in the afternoon, which was concentrating a bit on my legs and a bit on my upper body, but she used to pull my legs about, this, that and the other. And then the third one, after that, I used to go and see, it was sort of like, what was
motor control, isn't it?
Motor control. For people that have had like strokes and that sort of thing, because
your arms were very weak.
my arms were very, very weak, so I was like doing silly exercises with my arms, like they used to have that a bit of bent wire with a hoop on it, and I had to sort of do all that with one hand and that. Now, the first day I was in there, they was all in the room, and the doctor looked at it. He says, "That's bad. They've not been taking that very seriously." And didn't think any more of it. And it was.
It was weeks later I saw it.
Tina saw it quite a few weeks afterwards, when it was healing, but it was still bad. And it was, when would you say about that? Was it last year or the year before?
Earlier this year.
No, I think it was last year.
It might have been last year.
And Tina, out of the blue, she said, because I went for tests for my legs for nerves. They plug you into you lie on a bed and they put all these electrodes on you and they zap you with electricity, and they measure where they take measurements at different points of your legs. So they did that the first time, and then a few months later I went back and had the same test, and they said, "Oh, that it's not changed since the last time." And anyway, they sort of washed their hands of me. They didn't really do too much with my legs because of this bed sore. So they was concentrating on my top half of my body so that I could transfer, from the bed to the wheelchair to an armchair, whatever. Anyway, Tina, sometime last year, said, "I wonder if that bed sore has caused some nerve damage. That's why my legs don't work properly, because I can't feel hot and I can't feel cold. So I could pour boiling water on my legs, I wouldn't even know. I could tell they were wet, but I wouldn't know that they were boiling. I could put my legs in a freezing cold swimming pool and I wouldn't feel it. And I could cut a bloody great gouge in my leg and I couldn't feel it. But if I touch my legs, I can feel it," which is a bit bizarre. So she came out with the idea, and I thought, well, I've not even thought about that. And it's like, yeah, you're probably right.
So I've now come up with it.
So she's come up with this plan with this bloody massage machine that she's going to start pummeling the bloody area around where the bed sore was, because it's all healed up. Well, obviously, you can still see where it was. So yeah, I've got that to look forward to. Oh dear.
Might wake up.
Well, it might wake the nerves up.
It's worth a try.
But all the time got a bit of weight on, it's going to be difficult to get strength in my legs. Now I can move my legs, obviously I can drive the car and I don't need any adaptions on the car. And I can drive the tractor, that's a manual. I can't drive the Panda. The only reason I can't drive the Panda is because it's so bloody small and I can't get my legs under the steering wheel. I think I would even struggle to drive it if I was able-bodied. But who wants to drive a bloody Panda?
Anyone with half a brain.
I don't know about that. I'm going to have another bit of brie, because it's nice. It's very nice.
Look nice in it.
No,
Getting to that time.
it is. I'll think about shutting down soon. Oh, that's still so good.
Yeah, so what's this space on that pummeling in daylight?
Yeah. So if it all works out and the hobby is correct and she can get some life back in my legs by pummeling my bloody arse with this machine, this time next year I could be running around the garden.
I can have a rest.
Unlikely, but yeah.
You can have your own breeze box.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't enjoy being in a wheelchair, but the other option was I would be dead. So you put up with it, don't you, really? That's the way I look at it anyway. So if I never walk again, it is shit, yes, but
Yeah.
I'm still here, exactly. So that was 2016 that happened, so what's that, 6 years ago? It'll be 7 years next April.
You will?
Where's that time gone? Bloody hell. So yeah, You never know. I just got to get get this gym sorted out, and then I'm just going to make sure that I get in there every day. Do my exercises on the bed.
Get some yoga going as well, both of us.
Yeah, we'll start up the yoga again. And say she's going to pummel my ass for that machine, and then I'll go and the plan is, if I put it all out there, then I'm going to have to carry it through, aren't I?
Yep.
So I wake up in the morning, get dressed, do my exercises on the bed. She's going to get set loose on with that machine. We'll come through, have our first cuppa of the day, then I'll probably go through to the gym for an hour, and then we'll start the rest of our day off.
You'll be knackered.
Yeah. I won't be good for anything after I've done all that. Oh, mature cheddar. It's bloody lovely. Cheers. Merry Christmas. The old comment section's gone a bit quiet.
Well, it's getting late, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think there's still people there. Let's have a quick look on the old 12 people watching. So yeah, that's the story with the standing. We'll just have to make more effort in 2024. Have a bit of mimolette. Ooh. Cheers. Yes, cheers. Oh, you're having a cheers as well.
I just said ginger. The socks soon.
Oh.
Oh, piss off, fly.
So it's Christmas Eve tomorrow. What are all your plans? We are likely to be busy in the kitchen.
I want to play mustard grapes.
Tina's doing our Christmas ham tomorrow. It's been sat in the fridge and
It's just salted.
salted. She has it sat in salt for a week, and then she'll cook it tomorrow, slow and low. What are you doing? Honey and mustard.
That's what you want.
Ooh, honey and mustard coated ham
And Rice Krispie cakes.
and Rice Krispie cakes. Very nice.
To share.
Yeah.
And then you have something she's sexy.
We'll probably get all the meats done tomorrow.
Oh, that's right, I'll do stuffing as well.
Stuffing. Tina's doing the stuffing. I'm doing pigs in blankets. We're having roast beef, roast chicken. What we'll do is that we've got a beef joint. We'll cut off enough for Christmas Day. The rest will go in the freezer. Same with the chicken. We'll strip the chicken. Save some for Christmas Day. I'm going to portion a bit off because I want to do a chicken and beef biryani. So save a bit for that. The rest will go in the freezer for New Year and whatever. All good stuff, and then it'll just be a bit of tidying up, relaxing, and
Getting ready for Boxing Day.
yeah, getting ready for Tina to go to, pardon me, the hospital. I said she might as well get a room and stay there for 3 days. I think I've had enough cheese tonight.
No extra snoring.
Oh, can't help that, can I?
You kind of strengthen it.
I'm going to have some olives in a minute. Huh?
Jesus.
What?
More food. This time I like very good chocolate.
Look at them. Little nuggets of greenness.
Nastiness.
They're not nasty, they're very nice olives.
Little nuggets of nastiness.
So I've not done a lot of talking really, have I? Too much eating.
That's probably why you still got 12 people.
Well, yeah.
You've not been waffling.
Well, what are you trying to say?
You done half waffle.
Well, if I'd have done more talking then people would have gone earlier.
It's possible.
Oh, I did forget one job that we've got to do in the new year, or before spring. Let's change the water pump on the tractor.
Oh, I make the onion beds.
I make the onion beds. That's not a garage job though.
No, but it's an important job.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think I'm done for eating tonight. So I shall put the lids on everything and push it to one side. That's clean. So, I have a question for all you watching now. What sort of content would you like to see in the new year? Give me some pointers. Obviously, I'd like to try and get some new original content out there that's not been done by other people 1,000 million times or whatever. Try and keep the channel relevant and up to date and keep people engaged. That's the aim of the game. So any ideas are always welcome. Yeah, let me know what you want to see.
You might regret asking that.
I know, well I might get some random answers. You never know, do you?
You know it.
What was that?
It's me.
Oh, I thought someone farted.
No, it's me wool. In me wool. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, bugger. Forgot that tooth. Where did that come from?
What?
Fly. Come out the bottle.
Oh, it's been drinking your drink.
Piss off. Bloody flies in December.
I've been seeing moths outside.
Well, it's been quite mild, although it's been very wet.
It's been very mild.
It's been mild.
Like I say, they're not even getting proper snow in Canada. The hemisphere is... Oh, don't start people from that way.
No, can't go down that rabbit hole. Chilies and Range Rover.
Well,
Hello mate, hope you and the Hobbit have a lovely Christmas. That jumper is a rascal, mate.
Jesus.
Hobbit's got one as well. She reckons hers has got different dogs on it, but I thought they were both the same.
No, mine's Labradors.
Chilies and Range Rover. Well, hopefully, we did have a few chilies grow this year actually. We had a better year last year than we had the year before.
You get a hot room, don't we?
Went there, yeah. When it comes to the chilies, we're going to have an indoor grow room in the barn. This solid fuel boiler, which is going in that room there, is 27 kilowatts, and 20 kilowatts of that powers the central heating. Now, our oil boiler is rated between 28 and 35 kilowatts. But it's like I've said to Tina, that only kicks in and out as and when you need it. A log burner, it's cranking out heat all the time. So we're going to put a couple of radiators out in the barn, and I'm going to build like a grow tent round the radiators, get some LED lights in there, and we can grow our chilies out there. Obviously start them off out there, because we get quite good weather here in France. They do grow quite well outside. Obviously the biggest problem with chilies is germinating the seeds. You need the temperature to get the seeds to germinate, and obviously the hotter the chilies, the trickier they are to germinate. We wasn't really going to bother next year with chilies because we had quite a few this year. Last year was a disaster. We are going to do jalapenos. We was going to do just jalapenos and bell peppers.
Oh, we'll end up doing that.
We probably will do some
We've
chilies.
still got some seeds from this year.
Last year was a disaster. We did about 350 seeds and only one plant grew. But it was just a bad year for chilies, and bad year for quite a few other things as well. So yeah, I say yeah, I might. Trouble is when you when your main content is sort of like garage related, which is mainly the Range Rover, because that's the videos that get all the views. If I did like a video and then sort of like, oh, these are our chilies growing, and they get like 50 views, that video, the bloody YouTube algorithm just sort of like drops right down, and they don't push out your videos, because obviously you get a video that gets 1,000 views, say, and then the next one gets 50 views. YouTube don't push you out to as many people, and then it just sort of falls on its arse a little bit.
We're on our little farm in France.
Yeah. Yeah, so when it comes to like chilies and stuff, I'll probably put that on our other channel, which is Our Small Farm in France. That's sort of more regular vlogs and gardening content. Yeah, we've got auto pots. They work really well. We've got like the one big tank and 6 individual pots. Obviously we fill the big tank up with water, and then every couple of weeks or so we'd put the fertiliser in the big tank, and that used to work its way through to all of them, and they are pretty fantastic, to be honest. Last year our polytunnel bit the dust, the cover split all the way up the middle and it fell on the floor, so make some more overlanding content, weekends away, local green lanes and tracks. That's the plan. We want to do some more sort of getting off the beaten track type content. Probably not weekends away. Maybe not. It depends. Obviously, we're going to try camping in our own garden first. See how we get on with it. Because obviously, me being in a wheelchair, we've got to see if it's easy enough. But yeah, we'll give it a go. I've got a few videos of stuff that I can do on the Range Rover. I've got all the recovery gear that we're going to be carrying with us. I bought a Turf or hand winch. I sort of regret it a little bit because it is heavy. The cable's heavy, the actual winch is heavy, but if we've got it with us in the back of the car, we're likely not to need it. That's our theory, well, my theory anyway. It's an insurance policy that we might not need to use. It was a cheaper option than having a winch, obviously a proper mounted winch on the front. Obviously we go out on our own. We could probably meet up with some people, but we're a couple of loners, a couple of hermits. We don't like the general public. No, it's not that. We just like going out and doing our own thing. So we went off-roading and started going up this track, and it was getting a bit muddy, and Tina's like, do you think we ought to be going up there? And it's like, if you get us stuck, it's like, oh, of course we had no recovery gear with us. It was just, we had our all-terrain tyres, and that was it. I thought, well, the car is pretty capable, but I don't really know what the limits are. So yeah, I'll probably do a video on that hand winch at some point. We'll hook it up to the Range Rover in a tree in the woods and see how easy it is to actually move the car. The winch is rated for just under 4 tonne. Obviously the Range Rover is 2.7 tonne. If there's a lot of equations that we used to use when I was on the recovery trucks, obviously say a car weighs a tonne. When it's on its wheels, you don't need a tonne, the pulling strength of a tonne to move it. The more bogged down it gets and the more resistance it gets, the more pulling power you need, obviously. So that's when you start using snatch blocks and things like that. If, say we've got the Range Rover stuck in a bit of mud, we're never going to go for anything deep because we'll just turn around and go somewhere else. But at the end of the day, if you've still got drive, Tina can sit in there and drive while I winch. So you know, it's just I think it's about 3,800 kilograms on a single line pull. The bloody cable's thick. It's a 16mm cable, but it would get you out of a pickle if you needed to. We've got the sand tracks things as well, just in case. So I'll do a video on all the recovery gear we got. We'll get Christmas and New Year at, say, Tina's hospital for 3 days after Christmas, different appointments, so we'll get all that out of the way, and we'll get some jobs to do up in the garage, and we need to concrete the floor in there. Once we sort of get on top of some of these jobs, we just need the weather. It's been so wet and bloody miserable that just getting on with like concreting floors, I don't want to be sat outside in the rain mixing up concrete. We did get rained on the last time we concreted, didn't we? A little bit.
Just a bit. Not too much. It got too hot.
Because I have to sit outside. I sit outside mixing the concrete, and Tina takes it for on a barrow or the buckets or whatever she's doing it with at the time. But the weather's just been so bad. I don't mind cold. If it was cold, I'd go out in the frost, piece of cake, because the ground is hard. You can wrap up warm. But when it's wet, my wheelchair sinks. You get wet, you get miserable, and it's just not a nice thing to be out there. So we'll get on top of a few of these jobs when the weather cheers up a little bit, and we'll maybe go out and have a couple of little adventures in some local lanes and see what we can come up with. Try and get a bit more better footage, take the drone with us and stuff, and we'll get out with the old Range Rover. We've got the camping stove and stuff, so we like to go out and have a bit of lunch. I think the first time we had bacon butties when we went out. The second time we had a bit of a charcuterie with some cold meats and bits and pieces. It was rather nice. We sat in a car park, not exactly wild, out in the wild. It was
No, it was near the donkeys.
Well, yeah. There's a field full of donkeys next door, so that cheered up Tina. So, cheers, Merry Christmas.
That has grown up much quicker, hasn't it?
Yeah. Plans for tomorrow: roast beef dinner. I mean, I can't see it. There's a love heart under there for some reason. Plans for tomorrow: roast beef dinner. Get pissed. Not a great plan, but ITV works for me.
Ham and chips.
Yeah, well, we're having ham, egg and chips. It's one of Tina's traditions on Christmas Eve. Something easy, I suppose. Is that for when your dad was working and stuff?
No, it was just, it was light, it was...
Something
Because
nice.
you knew you were going to pig out the following day.
Yeah, so we'll be having ham, egg and chips tomorrow night. Once Tina's cooked the ham, that is. That's sitting in the fridge, ready to go. She's got to make a honey and mustard glaze, and that'll be very nice. Oh, I'll have a couple. Thanks. These are boule creme. You say that.
Tina goes through kilos of them every Christmas and she cannot put on weight.
Merry Christmas. They're quite nice, but very sickly. Boule creme, they are. It's like a fondant, isn't it?
Mm.
How much do you do that?
Yeah, go on then. Have a what's it? I better finish my beer first.
Un moment.
Are you stuffed?
Huh?
Are you stuffed?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to have funny dreams tonight, all that cheese. This here, Samrock. It's a cheap version of Bailey's. I do like a nice little tipple of Bailey's over Christmas. I'm not going to put a lot in though. This here is Muscat. Not for me. What's Muscat?
It's a fortified wine, it's a bit like a sherry.
It's a fortified wine. Bit like a sherry. How much do you want?
Oh, not too much. I'd like to go to sleep tonight, but
We might do after this.
not be comatose.
Is that enough?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a cheers. Cheers.
Chin chin.
Cheers. Merry Christmas. I've said that a few times tonight.
I don't want to think you were getting keen on Christmas.
Well, I do like Christmas. Hold on one moment.
No shit. Oh God.
Let's all wake the dogs up.
Yeah.
How old do you think these are?
They've got to be at least 15 years old.
15 years old, right? Still on the original batteries.
Season greetings. Merry Christmas. Have you been good? Season greetings. Have you been good?
See what I have to put up with?
It's Christmas, isn't it? It's Christmas! Yeah, about 15 years old, Tina reckons. Asda. Main fabric, 100% polyester. Filling, 100% polyester. Exclusive of trimmings. Hello Ben, Ben's partner and chat. I'm still using that night vision, thank you. Ah, are you the one that won it on the giveaway?
Season greetings. Have you been good?
Sorry. Yeah, if you're the one that won it on the giveaway on my other channel, I mentioned you the other day for some reason. Can't remember why now. Anyway, I did wonder how you was getting on with it, if you still had it. Apparently, yeah. Still using that night vision, thank you. Yeah, they're a pretty good bit of kit. Obviously, I had the rapid fire Commander Plus rapid fire scope with the MV100, which attached on the bayonet fixing. Now, obviously, the rapid fire scope was an optical scope, and the NV100 thing just clicked on the back was the digital part. That was pretty good. Now, One Leaf sent me the other day the NV400, which was it's all in the scope, and it's all digital, no optical in it at all. It's all the complete 100% digital scope, day and night vision. I could not get on with it. I tried. I had it on my Bagara 22 long rifle. I put it on my new air rifle the other day and tried it on that, which it's my Christmas present, so. No problem at all. One Leaf obviously sent me the rapid fire scope with the MV100, and I can't remember how it come about, because they said something in an email, and I said, if you can send me another unit, I'll do it as a giveaway on my channel. And they went, yeah, all right then. It's like, oh bloody hell, that was. But yeah, I say the MV400, it's enormous, and it weighs about 2.5. It's got a rangefinder on it, and obviously the night illuminator. With all that bolted on it, it was about 2.5 kilos. It's a bloody massive thing, and I really tried to get on with it, but I couldn't. So I've gone back to my optical scope. Have we done an update on Tina the Hobbit? I've not really done much of an update. Apart from she's back into hospital on Boxing Day for an ultrasound. Then the day after that she's back in for an MRI, and then the day after that she's in for a PET scan. Just trying to get to the bottom of what's going on, because she's not right. She's obviously had the chemotherapy, had surgery, had radiotherapy. They put her on some drugs, and she's just got absolutely no energy. Goes a bit dizzy when she stands up, and she's not right. She's not back to normal. A lot of people sort of say they're back to work quite soon after treatment, but there's no way she could go back to work. I mean, she works as a bit of like a gardener on the campsite, so she can't really use the strimmers and stuff. So this year has been a write-off really. So she's in for scans and God knows what from Boxing Day onwards, and we'll wait and see what happens, see what they come back with. She said if it all comes back clear and they can't really find anything, it could just be the drugs that they've put her on.
I mean, they have found stuff, because they found the
ovarian
something, and the uterine something, and something in the colon, and
yeah. I mean they have found bits and pieces on her body that shouldn't be there.
They could all just be benign.
Yeah, it could all be benign, and it could just be down to the drugs.
Fingers crossed.
So we'll keep our fingers crossed for a best case scenario, because we don't really want to be going through all that shite again. Chemotherapy and God knows what.
If it's the drugs, they can change them.
Yeah, like she said, if it's the drugs, they can change them, and she could be back to normal within a week or whatever. But until they sort of done all these sort of scans and stuff. But luckily we're in France, so the healthcare in France is so bloody good, really. Even though it's on its knees, They do say, don't they?
Yeah, it's like everywhere.
That there's no waiting, really. It's...
Feels like a long time, but it's not. It was about 3 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
After they said... No, it was 2 weeks after I had my checkup that I saw the gynaecologist, that I had my scan. Then it was a week and I saw the gynaecologist, and it was about 3 weeks after that he organised all these other scans. So it is quick.
I don't know if you heard any of that, but it's quick. Yeah, well, we're keeping our fingers crossed, because I'll get fed up with her floating around the house all day and we'll need to get back to work.
Can't wait to get back to work, get away from you, Jesus.
But yeah, I don't mind, because I can't do certain things. So, and Tina's a bit of a stubborn cow as well, so she'll be bloody plodding along doing stuff outside. So I'll be doing all the cooking and God knows what. Yeah, NHS is sort of... I don't really know what to say about the NHS. Well, my sister's having... She's had problems for about 10 years, my sister. She's got arthritis, which is a bit bad because she's only 40-something.
Well, she's had it for at least 10 years as well.
And she had it for 10 years. But, I mean, she needed a scan for something. And it was 18-month wait, was it?
Minimum.
A minimum of 18-month wait for this scan. So she said, oh, I'm just going to have to go private. So she went private, paid £180 and went for a scan. And it turned out she got some growths on her spleen. I'm not quite sure what's happening about that.
I think she's...
But
she's gonna have to go
if it was anything nasty and the NHS wasn't going to look at her for 18 months, that could have gone bad and ended up killing her. But anyway, we're in France and it's not too bad over here. Yeah, so we're keeping our fingers crossed for 2024. We've got a lot of plans, got a lot of projects that we need to get on top of. But yes, and you should be able to see them all in the videos. Obviously, I don't put a lot of like the house stuff on this channel, on Ben's Garage. That's mainly for the cars and machinery and stuff. I do put the odd 1 or 2 sort of vlog type videos up, but I've got the other channel, Our Small Farm in France, which is more sort of like daily vlogs, even though they're not daily. A bit more of what we do around the house and stuff. If anyone's interested, that'll be over there. And obviously Mad Dog Air Guns is where I do all the shooting stuff, which is where Mr. AVT obviously came to when he saw the old giveaway. Hey. Yeah, so 2024 will be a better year. Fingers crossed. Get her back to the grindstone. I think she'd love to go back to it. She enjoys her job.
Yeah.
We still have the magnet on the fridge. How's the tractor go? Tractor's still going alright actually. We drained the antifreeze out of it to put some fresh antifreeze in it before winter, and I don't know what made me do it, but I grabbed hold of the fan and it went dunk 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 dunk. So I've got to put a new water pump, and the bearings have gone in the water pump, so that'll be a job after winter before the spring. So I have found a water pump, €125, so it should be a fairly straightforward job to change it. So we'll get that done, and then we'll be back up and running with the old tractor. Get some of the garden rotivated, ready for the next growing season, and then we'll get the mower back on it and get the grass cut. Because we cut the grass and then we collect it and we put the grass on the vegetables. It keeps the weeds down, keeps the moisture in the soil, and just seems to do quite a good job. And obviously it's organic matter going back into the soil, So good bit of kit, that tractor. I'm glad we bought it. The other one was just wasn't big enough, didn't have enough power. But yeah. Anyway, I think it's getting towards that time of night where I'm going to be wrapping it up. Let me if I have a look on this other page, it will tell me how long I've been on here for. So 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh.
Oh, he's an arborist. We used to have a gardening, tree cutting business before I ended up in hospital. It was a right pain in the arse because we was just getting to the point where we was getting commercial work in, and we could have sort of got rid of all these like little private jobs for cutting grass for people and stuff. And you know, we bought the truck, we had the trailer, we had a really nice 4-wheel drive lawnmower. And it was just getting to that point where it's just like, yeah, we was just starting to. We'd been doing it for a good few years, and it was just starting to pay for itself, sort of thing. And oh, let's go in hospital, shall we? That buggered that job up, didn't it? So yeah, she loves working on the campsite, the old strimmer, cutting grass, and well, not so much cutting grass, but she loves her strimmer for some reason.
I don't like cutting grass.
Hedge trimmer. Uses a hedge trimmer. We've got a. We used to have 3 hedge trimmers. We had this normal hand one, and then we got one with like a medium length handle on it, and then we had one with on a long pole. Well, I sold the one on a long pole, and I gave the short one to my dad because Tina didn't like using that. But the one with the medium handle on it, it's quite balanced. So you've got like your engine there, you've got a bit of a shaft, and then you've got like your hedge cutter there. So you've got your handle there, engine and a blade, and it's quite well balanced, and it's not, the blade isn't like right next to you, so it's sort of, you can get a good old, yeah, she quite likes using that. So but yeah, I think she does like to be outside and getting back to work. Obviously the monies are nice, but it's funny, his wife's a gardener as well.
Oh, right.
This other bloke, Thomas.
There's a lot of us about.
Yes. Yeah, we used to quite enjoy gardening.
I still do.
We had a lovely tractor, power steering, 4-wheel drive. It was a John Deere X748 Ultimate. It had a high lift collector box on the back, and it had a big turbine, which was driven off the PTO. She didn't like driving it because she's so light. She would bounce off the seat and it would cut out. So she said, "Oh, I'm not doing."
The original one.
No, that was the Husqvarna, wasn't it?
Yeah.
John Deere wasn't like that, was it?
No.
John Deere didn't have a switch.
I just didn't like that John Deere.
She didn't like the John Deere, but it was lovely. Really nice, hydrostatic. So just 2 pedals, power steering, 4-wheel drive, diff lock if you needed it. The collector used to fill up. I think that was about 580 litres. The collector box. It was like a big clamshell thing, all metal. I used to drive around to the truck. And it would lift right up in the air, and then you'd back it over the truck, and you'd open it up, tip all the grass in the back of the truck, close it all up, and go and cut some more. But yeah, lovely bit of kit that was. So, well, we sold it all because obviously I come out of hospital in the wheelchair. Wasn't going to be cutting grass on a tractor like that. It wasn't so much the tractor. I could get on the tractor and drive it, but I couldn't get in the truck. I've been in, a friend's of ours got a Renault Mascot, and I went in the passenger seat, and it was a bit of a job getting into it. So if we still had our old Mascot, I don't think I'd have got into it. I think once I got into it, I could probably drive it, because you're sort of sat upright and pushing down on the clutch. It's not like you're sat in a chair and you've got to push it's like in a car seat, you're pushing your foot that. When you're sat in a truck, you're sort of up. Like on the tractor, you're sat up and you push down on the clutch, which I can do. So, but yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. I've been on here for quite long enough. I've stuffed myself with cheese. I'm going to have a couple more olives, finish off my Baileys, and call it good night. I might do a video towards New Year, just a bit of a recap video of what we've done this year. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes over Christmas. We've got a lot going on. Well, I say I've got a lot going on. We're having a quiet Christmas, just the two of us. But there's still a lot going on with her off to hospital and this, that and the other. So, yes, I will wrap it up for tonight. It's probably going to be one of my shorter live streams.
I don't think so.
Well, of course it is. They often go on for about 3 hours.
By the time you actually get off, it will be 3 hours. Will it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same. We had the big truck, trailer, chipper. We had the tractor mower. I've got a gang mower. Ransom's motor triple. We had all the gear.
No idea.
No idea. But it's one of them things, it's life, isn't it? Just getting going, getting on commercial jobs. And then health has to get in the bloody way, doesn't it? Anyway, right, so I shall wish too much cider tonight. I shall wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we hope to see some of you in the new year when we get some more videos up and out. I'm not going to do a lot of filming over Christmas. But yeah, so hopefully you'll enjoy some of the content that's coming along. And I say, if there's anything you want to see, just let me know in the comments of whatever videos that are coming up. And I will try and keep you all entertained. So, from me and the Hobbit over there, and the two dogs, wherever that one's over there.
Both asleep.
Both sound asleep. Yeah, it's a Merry Christmas 2023. Yeah, all the best. Cheers. Merry Christmas. Bye for now. Oh, I've got to shut this down now. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Have you been good?
That's it, we're off. Bye for now.